Okay, test run number 1. Let's see how well she do. Cool. Was over a million DPS too. Why does that console not work the way I want it to? It works so well for everyone else, but not me. Oh. Oh. That's just lovely. Oh, that was starting off as a really good run, then I died. That shield console, like, I don't... doesn't do it for me. Like, look at that. And I died twice and couldn't recover. And I forgot to do the masteries on this ship too. Anyway, let's go ahead and explain how this ship works, shall we? For those who are watching. Okay. So, here, phaser, this is what this build is. The way I have it set up is the overload quad cannons along with nothing but phased biomatter, which is basically the Zen weapons. The reason why I like these ones so much is because they have literally a phaser explosion proc, so it's more AoE damage, which is actually really fantastic. So if you end up misfiring, you still get a little bit out of it, which is great. For my console setup, Fleet Power Network for increased attack speed. Of course, I have what little power I have remaining into my Ox power. The ship isn't X2'd yet, so I am missing a few consoles. So build isn't fully completed yet, and I need to upgrade these shields. But I might even switch them out for something else. I'm using the Avoth Power Subcore primarily because it helps with, like, it kind of links with this console. But what I have been told, thanks to Stargate, is the ship is currently bugged for its hull modifier and shield modifier, so I'm not able to really utilize this console as well as I would like to. But this console's passive helps with it. It's clicky. Like, is it really helping with DPS? A little bit, but like, it's not going to make or break this, this ship. We're using this universal console primarily for the power transfer rate and the minus 50% weapon power cost. If I X2 this ship, this console I might not be using it at the end of it. Using the new Fakiri console from the Winter Event ship because of its cooldown reduction to universal consoles, and its clicky just looks awesome and it works very well. Next console is the experimental power redirection. I call it the beam overload at will console. Reason being, passively, it's boosting my ship's damage just generally, and also its clicky gives you beam overload at will, which just shoots at everything and makes your beams do it too. It's great. This console, just like I said before, is as I was describing it and say the name of it, is shield absorptive frequency generator. Pretty much what this shield does is, what this console does is when you're below 90% on any of your shield facings, you have a 2.5% chance per shot for all your energy weapons to restore your shields by 200% of the outgoing damage. So let's say you do like 100 damage. Well, increase that by 200%. That's how much shields you're getting back. Next one is Dynamo. This console is self-explanatory for those that know. For those that don't know, increases your phaser damage by 50%. Gives you a little bit of accuracy too, which is really nice. Its clicky is what makes this console great. Increases your fire cycle haste by 25%. Bonus all damage by 25%. Recharge speed for bridge officer abilities by 25%, which, as we all know, cooldown is king right now, which it basically always has been. The more cooldowns you have, the higher chance you are able to activate abilities, and if you're running uncon with control abilities, then it just speaks for itself. You're just increasing the cooldown with everything. Recharge speed for torpedo weapons, which I'm not using any, so that buff is completely useless to me. And then if you defeat a foe, plus 2 second duration to all effects may only occur 10 times. So it's not indefinite. Let's face it. Certain TFOs, you're constantly killing things, and if that didn't have a limitation, it'd be ongoing indefinitely. A DPRM, which apparently I did not put on my bar that entire match. So I probably could have saved myself from dying like maybe once. Way to go me, and I scrolled right past it. So way to go me, my, horribleness. For those that don't know what this console does, it passively increases your damage resistance rating by a little bit, but also increases your overall direct energy weapon damage. But the big thing about this console is clicky. Increases your damage even more by 40% while above 80% hull. It also gives you insane damage resistance, and it also gives you insane hull regeneration. So it's basically like an oh crap button, I'm about to die. Next console is the Inhibiting Phaser Lance, which boosts phaser damage even more, increases your shield penetration, but it also gives you a forward cannon that's just the Phaser Lance. It's actually really good. Next console comes from the another event ship, which I've talked about this before many times in previous videos. It comes from the Voven Obelisk Carrier. Reason why I use this is because it's clicky and increases your universal console cooldown abilities by 25%. That's literally the only reason why I'm using it. Yes, it gives you 30% hull regeneration as well, which is not reduced during combat, which is great. So you get a little bit extra ability with that as well. And then I'm also running Broadside Combat Module, which is also a Zen. It's a Zen store ship. From a Zen store ship, comes from the Corolla. On your broadside arcs, you gain damage and damage resistance, which is nice, but its clicky is what makes it great. It literally just shoots basically like a beam fire will, like in each direction, which is really, really good. My experimental weapon is the Surveillic Array. Reason why I love using this is because it has a 10% chance for increasing your fire cycle haste by 200%. This is my favorite one. This is my go-to. Like, sure, the one from, oh, what's that one ship? This one, the Achilles, is king. It's the best. I am happily willing to admit it's the best, but this one's my favorite. I use this, and I will always use this over that one. Even if I had it, I'd use this one more. Just because of that fire cycle haste. I am using Type 7s, but it's only the basic one. The reason why I am doing a build like this with this ship is because everyone's all about the mirror, strike wing escort. Well, as y'all know, I like finding ships that can do something similar to the best of the best. So I landed on this one. Fleet Norway, Command Strike Wing Escort. My personal opinion on this one over the Mirror Strike Wing. Can this ship compete with it? I say absolutely. Do I own the Mirror Strike Wing? No, it's the same thing with my previous video comparing the two Warbirds. I don't own one, so I can't really give a true, opinion on that one because I don't own it. But I own this one. And I've always liked this one. And, I mean, it's part of the same ship line that they did after the Borg were introduced in TNG. So they created a whole new breed of ships. So this is one of them, and I really like it. Same thing as a Steam Runner. I love that one too. But I really wanted to give this one a real try just because I really love Norway. Love the lore behind it. Love the ship itself. It's great. But yeah, this was my build. Drivetrain is my standard drivetrain minus the shields. Running the colony deflector. I always run this on every single one of my builds just because it's really good. Increases just your damage for weapons. I think everything and weapons. So competitive engines for the speed boost, the Tholian warp core for the crystals, and then started using this one because it like reflects damage. Not really reflecting, it just, does extra damage to things that are shooting at you. So it's good. As for my skills, I never really went over my skill tree before, but here it is. If you guys were ever curious, my skill tree is a balanced skill tree. It's basically a jack of all trades. So could I redo this and increase my DPS? Of course. Will I? Maybe. But this is my go-to skill tree for when I want to basically be able to switch to a different build without having to sacrifice too much. So this is my jack of all trades. I can tank, science, tactical, energy weapon, whatever. I can do it all. Specialization, intel, primary, strategic, secondary. Pretty standard for all DPSing builds I've come to find, at least for me. As for traits, got a assortment for you. Let's go ahead and start with the reputation. Increase critical severity, cooldown for this one, weapon damage, critical chance, critical chance. For starship traits, temporal tunneling for the increased fire cycle haste. Decided to test out ship to the line, so every single time I activate a emergency power ability, which I am running 2, as you can see, which I'll get into that in a bit, increases your critical severity by 20%, and then it stacks up for a little bit. I think it stacks up to 4 times, so it gives you like a 50% critical severity, I think, if I remember correctly. Based on how it works. I'm also running particle. Here, running this trait. It comes off of the legendary nebula, so that's how you get that one. Every single time you activate a universal consoles, which stacks up to 10 times, you gain critical chance, along with critical healing, severity healing, power, and starship precipitation, which is literally useless. So I'm using this just to increase my ship's power, critical chance, critical severity, to, of course, increase my PS. Next one is Halberd Light. Been over this a billion times already, so I don't really need to go over it. And then the last one is Emergency Weapon Cycle for the decreased weapon power cost and increased fire cycle haste. For my personal traits, going down fighting, which is the best trait for tactical tunes, like I said before in a previous video. It's the best. This is the number one trait you need to get for a tactical tune. Next one is Adaptive Offense, Duelist Fervor, Fireball Escape, Fragment of AI Tech, Inspirational Leader, which I think comes standard with every captain. I could be wrong. It might be Lockbox. I'm not sure. Pretty much every single one of these traits are a Lockbox trait except for Symbiotic Ice and Boimler Effect. Next one is Intelligence Agent Attaché. Like I said before, Symbiotic Ice, Terran Targeting Systems, the Boimler Effect, and then, of course, the second most important trait for a tactical tune, Unconventional Systems, which universally, this is the most important trait in the game for builds that utilize, universal consoles. So this is the entire setup of the ship. For my stations, I got one Watcher, two SROs, and two Gemini Vanguards. So for those that don't know, bridge officers do have the ability to boost. Yes, I love the Gemini Vanguards because, one, if you get the Gamma expansion, you get 3 of these, 1 tech, 1 science, 1 engineering on all your characters, but unfortunately you can only have the 3. And they boost your all weapon damage, critical chance, critical severity, so it's just a pure buff to your weapons. It's great. I love these guys. Watchers, for those that don't know, you can get these on the exchange or by opening up lockboxes. The superior Watcher operative increase your critical chance severity by 3%, but also gives you defensive maneuvering. There's an argument on uh which one, which one's the best. People still say SROs are the best. Some people say Watchers are better, so on and so forth. For me, all of them are good. Use them all. They're great. There's also an argument when it comes to PvP, which I know PvP in this game. Yeah, PvP's dead. That superior Watcher operative is the best, which I can understand that argument primarily because of the fact that one, it increases your critical chance severity, but also gives you defensive maneuvering. That's huge for PvP. But this isn't PvP now, is it? It's PvE. That's why you're watching this video. PvP is so expensive, not worth it. And then, of course, you have your SROs. They give critical chance by 2%, critical severity by 5%, and then power recharge speed for cloaking plus 15%, but it's literally useless. That's a useless buff for me, anyway, especially with this ship. It used to be where Romulan characters could only get as many SROs as you want. That's no longer the case. So if you want to go max SROs, you can. Anyone. So yeah. Now, as for how this whole setup works, like I said, there are certain traits that proc certain things based on my setup. My spam bar is hidden. Spam bar is right here. It goes 9 from left to right, then 8 from left to right. So this is my setup. I have several abilities to proc temporal tunneling. I have several abilities to proc uncon. So this is a temporal tunneling trait, ability, Electric Beam Catapult. Bravo procs both. My 2 intel abilities, Ionic Turbulence and Viral Impulse Burst, both proc uncon for the Universal Console cooldown. And then I'm also running Best Served Cold, which procs uncon. So like I said, cooldown is king. More abilities I activate on these things, the more Not only my bridge officer abilities will go on cooldown, my captain abilities will have a better cooldown, so on and so forth. So everything works in tandem with one another. The whole point of most of my builds is literally just how much can I give everything I have a better cooldown. So my attack pattern alpha, if I remember correctly, I can activate it like once every 30 seconds. So 20% active time, so there's like a 10-second window where it's not active. It's at least that was the last time I had. That was a long time ago when I tested that, so I don't know what it is now. Could be even less. Same thing with going down fighting. It's for 15 seconds, unfortunately, which is kind of stinky, but I mean, I can activate this like constantly. Amazing. These are like the two best buffs for tactical characters. Um, of course, I don't have these two, which are also primary abilities to have for like your tactical character. The reason why I have them not on my spam bar is because I have certain abilities on my spam bar for certain. Like for example, I have my inhibiting phaser lance on there purposefully to proc particle fluctuation more. Same thing with my call Both power subcore. Even though this console right here isn't the best console in the game, I like it because it looks awesome. But it also procs that trait as well, and then along with Fleet Power Network, which increases my attack speed, along with my well, it's primarily just for attack speed. So yeah, that also can proc. Well, that does also proc particle. Also, yeah. So this is how my ship is set up. Um, And then, of course, I have evasive maneuver. Like all these, I just use my keyboard to activate or my mouse if I just don't feel like using my keyboard. But this is the ship in entirety. Do I think the ship can do similar things as the Mirror Strike Wing? Absolutely. It has Intel seating, which for those that don't know, Intel along with 27 to 47 is like the best combination ever. I'm running 27 to 47, increase critical chance and severity based on the abilities to activate. 22 to 47, improved critical severity plus improved armor 10. 37 to 47, which is engineering intel cooldown. I wish I had a tactical intel cooldown, but I'm running agent and roll for beta, giving me hull heal. I'm running Gook for more hull heals whenever I'm activating a tactical. What is it? When activating tactical bridge officer abilities, 20% chance, 10% of the next 10 sources of outgoing damage applies to healing. So I have like a little bit of survivability with these two, and of course standard evasive maneuvers, power, emergency power to engines, duty officer. Be able to give you the ability to move just a little bit faster. So this is the Norway. I think it's fantastic. I think it's a great ship. If you don't want to sit there and try to get more lockbox ships like a lot of other people do, and you want to do like the same thing as the Strikewing Escort, well, not really the same thing, just something very similar, this is the ship that I would recommend. You do also have the other Strikewing Escort, which isn't Mirror, which is the Earhart, but this is just command. So you're kind of like stuck. One thing that this ship does have over the Mirror Strikewing is your command abilities that come with being a command primary, which I prefer this over temporal. I would much rather have this over a temporal ship, despite the fact that temporal abilities are amazing. Because just these three cookies are insane. Got one for cooldown, got one for damage, got one for I'm gonna die, so let's not die along with like these are also team buffs, so you're helping your team as well. It's a good abilities to have. My opinion, of course, everyone has their own opinions. No such thing as a wrong opinion when it comes to these ships, in my personal opinion. This is a good ship. Want to keep up with the greats, and you don't have the ability to throw money on the game like they do. I definitely don't. There you go. Literally just had to sell a bunch of stuff and buy a fleet ship module just to get the ship to make this video. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. God bless. See you all next time.